One thing I did after I was saved was research whether the resurrection was done by aliens. I don't know why I was comfortable with an assembly of beings having superpowers, but not with one supreme being having them. Well, if aliens are indeed real, it's simply a matter of time until we catch up to them. However, if God is real, then we'll never be able to do that. We'll never be able to overpower or argue with God. We'll forever be inferior. One of the reasons why people are so comfortable and actually prefer the idea that the universe is self-existent. Because it's perfectly fine to accept that the sun is the sun because it is just a thing. Non-personal and non-intelligent. Although it is uncontrollable and can kill us at any moment, it doesn't know what it is doing. Therefore, it is much easier to submit to it. Any explanation seems to be more valid and reasonable than the one already presented. Jesus was indeed God and resurrected. There's life after death, and this life, this body, is a cocoon, and death will release us from it, revealing if we'll forever be moths or butterflies. Did you know that space travel from galaxy to galaxy is actually impossible? Even if you traveled at the speed of light, it would take you 2 million years to reach your destination. And not only that, if you're traveling at that speed, 1 grain of dust floating in space would be like 100 tons of dynamite impacting on the hull of your spaceship. So, that theory doesn't work. And now people claim that aliens travel through interdimensional means. These beings are now no longer affected by space, and they break the laws of physics? Can't spirits do that? Isn't it in another dimension where God resides? These beings look like a duck, swim like a duck, and quack like a duck, but they're probably aliens, science fiction, not spirits, the supernatural. Why did I rather believe that the resurrection was a hoax by the aliens than the truth that was told to me? Why? Because it's too good to be true. It is. This life is all I know, and now you're telling me there's a place with no more suffering? I don't die? And my actions matter much more than I think they do? But no, it has to be aliens, not a God. Much less the Christian God. No God would allow for the world to be the way it is. Aliens make much more sense, because they don't care about what we do to each other. If there's an all-powerful being out there who claims to care about us, even if he existed, I wouldn't follow him. But what if this is the best way to differentiate the moths from the butterflies, since, when we were butterflies, we wanted to know what being a moth felt like. And now we're being presented with how a butterfly should behave, but we refuse it. Those who want the truth will recognize it when they hear it. But why do we only gain access to those powers if we behave in a certain way? We're immortals, we can't hurt each other physically. Who cares how we treat each other? Why is morality a requirement for immortality? We want to be godlike, but we don't want to be holy. We want to have the powers of God without having to act like Him. But once again, why does that matter? Immorality only has consequences, because it leads to death. Who's there to kill in heaven? No one. The only explanation I can come up with, at least right now, is that there are a lot more things we'll do in the other realm that we right now are being prepared for. And our sense of morality will be indispensable to getting our job done. We wouldn't let a former pedophile be a babysitter, wouldn't we? The same can be said about God in relation to us. Hell doesn't seem like a good destination to anybody, however, people seem to prefer it to following God. We'd be okay if aliens were the ones telling us what to do, since we understand power and fear force. But God's force is only used when it's to get rid of us, and always as a last resort, after He tried to love us for centuries and millennia. He tried to convince us and show us the consequences of our actions. Of how ongoing immorality most certainly will lead to death. And so, we don't respect Him, we don't fear Him. We perceive His patience as a lack of authority. Aliens, at least aliens, demons in disguise, have and are constantly showing themselves. If the crucifixion was indeed a hoax by the aliens, why give credit to anyone other than themselves?